Ratchet and Clank is one of the most iconic PlayStation exclusives, and for me it has been a great series which I'm getting into again. And because of that, I want to show you how to play all the Ratchet and Clank games on your PC, since it can be a bit of a hassle to get all the hardware set up ready and going. So for this, we are going to show again how to play all the games on your PC. For this, we are going to use two emulators. One is PCSX2 for the original games, and we also got RPCS3 for the newer PlayStation 3 games. Do note that for the original 3 games, I'm going to cover both, since the PlayStation 3 versions are the HD remasters, so they have some higher quality textures and some more resolution in the UI, for example. And the PlayStation 2 versions are a lot faster since, well, they are older hardware and a bit less complex hardware. So if you have a lower end PC, definitely play the original games on PCSX2. If you do have a higher end system, I personally prefer the Trilogy. But luckily there are some HD remakes for the original games as well. So just watch through So let's just watch through the video and see how you can play the games optimally for your setup. As shown right here, I got these versions of these emulators. For the PlayStation 2 side on the right, I got the stable 2.4 release of PCSX2. There are also nightly releases which are already on 2.5, so that does have some more features and maybe some better performance. For RPCS3, I'm currently on 0038, which is the latest version, and that runs great on my machine. So we are going to go over all the games, and for most games it is simply setting up the editor with the default settings, increasing the resolution, and then checking the wiki if there are any settings you have to change in order to get running. For the original Ratchet and Clank 1 on the PlayStation 2, again we are also going to cover the Trilogy. It is pretty much good to go with the default settings. That's great, you can just boot it up in PCSX2, you can increase the resolution, and you should be good to go. So when we see it in the emulator, we got the original version right here. We right click it, properties, and as you can see I'm pretty much using the default settings that I got selected in my global settings. For the patches, widescreen is enabled, which is great. The UI does stretch a bit, so keep that in mind. And for rendering, I am rendering at 4K since I got a 4K screen, and against the anisotropic filtering at 16x since it just looks a lot better. Quick side note, for this game there are texture replacements, and one of them is found right here. It's the HD texture pack of the original game. It has almost all the textures with higher resolutions, which does look a lot better, and it's still faster than the PlayStation 3 version. So if you want to play the PS2 version and you want to have the highest resolution textures possible, definitely check out remasters like this, where they just increase the texture resolution. And once you're playing at 4K or something, or even 1080p, it does help a lot with how the game looks. So keep this in mind, the instructions are right here on how to install these, and enjoy the game. For the second game, Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, there again are no settings you have to be changing. So the settings are the same as the last one, check them out. It is called Locked and Loaded in the EU, by the way. And again, the settings are default. This is enabled globally, by the way. For the graphics, again, having all the same settings. Achievements is on, and that's great. For Ratchet and Clank 3, up your arsenal. Do really love these games. There are some settings you need to change. They are right here. They are some basic settings, and they are not major issues. So keep this in mind. Some of these, like setting the blending accuracy to full, is a lot heavier on your computer, but modern computers really should be able to do this. Also, there are some workarounds by using the software renderer, which is a lot slower. So keep in mind if these are issues that you are facing. If you don't mind the Spy Ratchet's glasses acting up, you don't have to use the software renderer. So again, keep this in mind. These are tested in older versions, so maybe they're fixed by now as well. That's something that you can't know for sure unless you're checking all of these issues right here. It has been tested on 2.3, so for this it should be loaded up as the default, but if you go to properties, you can set it to software rendering here if these issues really bother you. Again, the default one is a lot faster usually. Oh, here's the blending accuracy. It's currently at the basic. If you put this at full, it is a lot slower, but again, the certain lights are illuminated. Last we got Ratchet Deadlocked, which is a bit of a spin-off, and this works with any modern version, and you have to use the hardware renderer, which again we want to do since that's a lot faster, so Notice here the default settings work fine. Now we got 2 more spin-offs. We got Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. I believe this is a PSP game which has been ported to the PlayStation 2. For now we are going to cover the PlayStation 2 version. If you have any questions about the PSP version using PPSSPP, also let me know in the comments and I will help you out. There are no settings here, so this should run with the default settings. For Secret Agent Clank, another very nice spin-off originally made for the PSP. No settings are mentioned here, so this should again run without any changes. Now the console where most of these games will be is the PlayStation 3 with RPCS3. I got most of the default settings right here. I can show you the config right here. They're tuned a little bit. For example, the resolution slider for me is at 300%, which is 4K. And to increase these step by step, you can just press on one type of the slide and it goes to that percentage. We got the audio right here, the I/O. All of this is pretty much the default settings, so you should be fine for that. For the Trilogy, this is the way I am playing the original 3 games right now. There are 3 settings you need to change. I made a submission to add 1 more setting right here, which you need to make sure that is unchecked. If you right-click a game, you can change the custom configuration. If that's not done, you can make it from the global settings or the default settings, whatever you prefer. In GPU, you need to make sure that the frame limit is at 60. That's to avoid any speed up issues. The Z-call accuracy can be at relaxed, which is a lot faster, which is great. And you need to make sure that asynchronous texture streaming is disabled. Simply apply and close and enjoy your game. My personal favorite, Tools of Destruction, does have some changes you need to change. And for this, you can again change the configuration. For the SPU block size, you can go from save to mega, which is faster. So that's a performance optimization, which is great. For the GPU, the frame limit needs to be at 60. Anti-aliasing should be disabled. Z-call accuracy is at approximate for a speed up. And we need to disable both multi-threaded RSX and asynchronous texture streaming. Apply and close and enjoy your game. All for one, this one is very easy since the SPU explode accuracy is the default setting. So as you can see right here, it didn't change anything. But in the global configuration, the explode accuracy is always at approximate. So unless you change this, you shouldn't have to change anything for all for one. A nice spin-off, a quest for booty. This one is also very easy to do, but you do need to change one small setting. Once we go to, where is it? Hey, where is it? Oh, quest for booty, right here. You need to go to advanced and you need to put the FIFO accuracy at atomic, and this avoids some instability and potential crashes. So that's the setting to change here. The rest can be left at the default with again upscaled graphics. Ratchet and Clank A Crack in Time can be played fully with a few tweaks. Anti-aliasing should be at auto for this one, which is unique. This is because there are some issues, as seen right here with pixelation, when this is disabled. So keep that at auto. Asynchronous texture streaming should be off. And in advanced, this one we will see in more games. Read color buffer needs to be enabled. Apply and close and enjoy your game. Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus is a very easy fix. For this, simply go to advanced and enable read color buffer, apply and close, and you can play Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus just fine. Ratchet and Clank QForce, also known as Full Frontal Assault, is also very doable. For this, we go to Full Frontal Assault, change the custom configuration. In the CPU side, the SPU explode needs to be at approximate, which again is the default. And in advanced, again, we need to enable read color buffer. That's all. Open up the game and enjoy. The spin-off, Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked, we already covered this as Gladiator a bit back. We forgot to cover that. It runs with the default settings, so you're good there and enjoy the game. Also for the PlayStation 3, there's one thing I want to mention, which is the patches. And we can manage them in manage and game patches. Yeah, sure, we'll update. And you can see right here, all of these have their own unlock FPS options. And that's amazing, so you can play at higher frame rates than 60 FPS. You can also, for some games, have infinite ammo, unlock the FPS, have infinite bolts and stuff like that. So if you want to play around with it, or if you want to run at higher than 60 FPS, which, while it's great, it can cause some instabilities, so keep that in mind. Overall, these are nice things to change and things you should look into. There are also aspect ratio changes, and I think this one is for 32:9 on the remaster. So that's great that you can play at such wide resolutions as well. But for now, we are going to just use the defaults, the games the way they are made, just at increased resolutions. Now, one big one which is sadly still missing is 2016 remake of the original Ratchet and Clank. It is in-game on Shed PS4, a PlayStation 4 emulator, but there is a hard crash. So you can't fully play the game, but you can get in-game and enjoy some quite nice graphics. Thanks for John to making these videos. He makes some great update videos on quite popular games. So while the game looks great right here, it is not completely playable, so I won't be covering this in depth. But keep in mind, they are working on it, and Shed PS4 is making great progress. Luckily, the story is a bit different, but you can play the original on both RPCS3 and PCSX2, so you are good there for the original. And the last entry, exclusive to PlayStation 5 and luckily also released on PC, is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. One of my favorite games, released 2 years ago already. You can play this one on PC via Steam or anywhere else you want, and you should be good to go. Don't play this on any emulators once they come out, since the native version is pretty much always better. So that's my overview of how to play all the Ratchet and Clank games on your PC. If you enjoyed this, definitely let me know. If you want to see any other game series, also please let me know. And I hope I can see you in some future videos. Cheers!